G'day guys, my name's Grizzly and this is Rising World, an early access alpha game. We've timed this rather well because there's just been an update release which has added a cool new feature which is water. Prior to this there was no water in the game whatsoever, so now there's lakes and ponds and even a brand new biome, well, in the shape of oceans. So that'll be interesting to have a look at. Plus there's heaps more additional items, there's new trees, there's new objects. There's heaps of new stuff, so without further ado, we'll go in and we'll set up a new world and we'll check out the game and the new features. We'll call our new land Grizzly Land? Grizzle Land? There we go. Grizzly Land. There we go. We'll get it right in a minute. Okay, so we've got a seed. This is where we enter the seed. Now you can do a custom seed if you wish, or you can just press the refresh here and that will produce another seed. So we'll just go for this one here. Now, there's 4 different ways you can play this game. You've got survival, you've got creative, stranded, and adventure, which are both not in the game at this time. But survival is probably the way to go at this stage, so we'll have a quick look at that. And then we can choose the world type, which is super flat, surreal, or normal. We'll go with normal, and then the amount of ores you're going to find in the game. I think we're going to need as much help as we're going to get, so we'll go with the high amount of ores. You can choose whether to have caves or not. I'm going to go without caves. I've seen a few videos and a lot of the caves that turn up are basically just big holes in the ground, so I think we'll go without and we'll just make our own mines and all that sort of thing, which would be a lot more fun, I think, anyway. Now with vegetations, you can choose whether to have vegetations enabled or not. We'll have it enabled, of course. Animals is a cool little thing. These are the current animals that are in the game. Some of them are a little bit angry, some are friendly. There's not much you can do with them at this point, but the angry ones do attack and kill you if you get too close to them, so that's we'll leave them all in the game anyway, so that's a nice little feature. So we'll just leave it as that and we'll create our world. Very cool. So here we are, we're on top of a mountain. We're on top of mountains. So we'll have a bit of a look around and see what the go is. Just use the usual movement keys, WASD to move around and so forth. We've got the mouse key to swing the pick. Oh, look at this! Looks like a fruit tree. So, press F, and you can just pick up the fruit. Now the I key brings up the inventory. You've got the crafting menu and things like that, so you can make a basic shelter. We've got resources that we can work on. We've got lights. We've got crafting station, which we'll get into pretty quickly. We've got a fireplace and all that sort of cool stuff. So we'll just look around. We'll see if we can gather some resources and get a bit of a feel of what the game is all about. This is a very uneven terrain around here, so we'll see if we can find any ore as well. Hopefully it's fairly easy to spot, because I suggest we probably need a fair bit of the ore. There are quite a few different ores in the game at this stage. I couldn't tell you all of them by name, but we know there's iron and copper. I believe there's mithril, there's aluminium, and that's probably the 4 I know of at this point. So yeah, there's quite a few more to find and discover. So we'll get down onto the plains, I think is probably the way to go. Get out of this mountainous region. We're not going to be able to do much here. So you come standard with a pickaxe and a wood chopping axe. So we'll get into some wood chopping straight away and we'll try and gather some wood. One thing I do like about this game is this feature here with the tree that actually falls over. Now these leaves here that are falling off, this has actually just been added in this latest update. So now when you chop down a tree, you can have all the leaves affect as well, which is really, really cool. It just adds a little bit more realism, I guess, to the game, which is really fun. So we just use the F key again to pick up any logs that were falling on the ground, and then we can turn them into sticks and so forth, and lumber and all that good stuff. So we'll get these things here. What are these things? Tomatoes or something. So we'll grab those, we'll chuck them in our bags because we're going to need plenty of wood. So there's some water straight away. So we're going to have a look at this water and see how it looks. I'm not sure if it's moving water yet or whether it's just static or what the go is. Oh, it looks quite good. It looks very effective. Oh, there we go. Well, that looks like water to me. That's very nice. That's very nice. Oh, excellent. Excellent. So that's great. So that, yeah, like I say, that's going to add a little bit more realism to the game. Make it a little bit more fun. And yeah, a bit more enjoyable to play. So let's get some more wood. Alright. Once you chop the tree down, you've got to chop it into logs, and then you can use them for your own purposes. So, So we've got a few logs now. Oops, this one's not going to let us pick it up. No. Oh, there we go. Righto, so we picked him up. That's cool. So let's have a look, see what we can do with these logs so far. So we can go to the crafting menu. First thing we want to do is probably make a little bit of a shelter. So we need some sticks. To do that, you go to the resources, you choose your sticks, or rather you go to lumber, so you craft some lumber. You can change the amount, so we can go to the max here. And a cool little feature, I guess, would be that you wouldn't be able to increase this past the amount of resources that you actually have. That's not currently a feature in game, but it'd be nifty to have, so you don't sort of go too far, I guess, is what I'm trying to say there. So we'll grab some more. See, we can do 30 of these lumbers, but we can actually increase the max past the 30. So it'd be good if it just sort of cut out at 30 and that was it. But we'll do that. So we'll add some lumber. So we've got some lumber. The crafting process in this game is very quick, as you can see. And now we can make a small shelter. So we'll do that. So now we've got a small shelter in our inventory. That's cool. What else can we make? Anything else? We need a piece of log and some stone. So maybe we can go and get some stone and stuff, and we'll get a little fireplace going, and we'll set up a bit of a base camp. Probably next to this pond is not a bad spot, actually. So what have we got over here? Is that like a... Oh no, it's just a cow. It's a cow. Oh, here we go. There's some ore right there. So maybe... Can we reach up that far? Yeah, we can. So we'll give that a bit of a whack, and we'll gather all that ore, which is lovely. That's a good spot. So you can see the ore texture. It does stand out. It is quite visible. It does stand out against the stone. Well, at least this one did anyway. So what's that giving us? So that's giving us one copper ore. That's a start. Plus we got some stone. We'll grab a bit more stone. Why not? You never have too much of that stuff. So we'll grab some logs. Oh, it's a fruit tree, so we'll grab some fruit. Now that looks like, what's that over there? Is that a sheep or a cow? We got some goats, and so yeah, a few different animals are poking their heads around. We've got a pig over there on the far right. Awesome. So there's a little bit of a farmyard. Not sure what that noise was, but that might have been maybe lightning or something. Maybe. So this game is multiplayer as well. If you want, you can go and play a multiplayer version, play with all your friends, and that sort of thing, which is a bit more fun as well. So the amount of building and crafting options in this game is absolutely off the charts. It's unbelievable. It's really good, and it's constantly being added to as well. So there's plenty of things to do. Even though it is early access, the actual in-game building is great. A lot of textures, a lot of different things. We'll just have a bit of a look around before we go any further. Is that pig? Oh, look at this. We've got some more ore just over here by the look of it. Whereas the actual survival part of it is probably not that great at this time. I'm not sure what this is or what. Oh, we can climb up a little bit. That's better. Yeah, so that's still in development. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more added in respect to the survival part of it. So what are we actually getting here? Dirt. I don't think we need to dig much dirt. That's probably not going to come in too handy for us at all. So we could probably make something else. Let's have a look. We can make a fireplace, so we'll craft one of those. Next thing we've got on our things to do is a crafting station. So we're going to need 16 lumber for that. So we should be able to... We should actually have some... Let's have a look. So we can make a few of those. And what's that giving us? It's giving us 12. So we need to go and chop down another tree. So I'm thinking rather than just setting our base roots down at the moment, we'll just have a quick look around and see what's around the place before we get too excited and get into base building and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so we'll pick those guys up. Let's make some more lumber. Okay, so now we should be able to make a crafting station. So there we go. And of course you can change the textures on your crafting. On most things that you craft, we got... I don't know that... No, we can't change it on the shelter. We can do it on the... Not the resources, the lights. Nope. So these torch mounts are actually really good, and they'll come in value... They'll prove themselves very valuable once you start mining, especially going down into deeper areas. Once it starts getting a bit dark, you can actually set those mounts up with torches in them, and you can have like a permanent light source, which is really cool. There's a bit more water, which is really... Let's just jump in the water. Okay, so that's pretty cool. I don't know if there's actually any breathing underwater or not at the moment. Probably. Oh, there we go. Look at this. We found some more ore. I'm glad we set the ore to a higher level because I think that will be very beneficial to us, especially while we're learning the game. So that's really cool. So I'm not sure what this is here. We'll have a look. So what's that giving us? So that's giving us aluminium. So there we go. So we can chuck that in the bag. We'll just grab all this stuff. And then we'll set about choosing a good location for our first base setup. Once we've put down the construction or the crafting bench, then we've got access to even more crafting options, plus more crafting benches, which then again produce even more crafting options, which is really good, which is really handy. So we'll get that done shortly. We'll just get all this ore here. This is fantastic. This is a great start. So we'll need to obviously smelt the ore into ingots so that we can use them for various options, various tools and weapons and all that sort of thing. So unlike the wood and the other resources, you don't have to press F or anything. You just basically need to be near it to pick it all up. And that's it. So we've got all that. That's really good. Okay, so let's find a good spot. We need somewhere that's probably a little bit flattish, I guess. Somewhere close to the mountains is handy. I don't believe there's any sort of terra forming tools as such. You can't actually flatten areas out or anything like that. Not at this stage. I don't know if that's something that's coming in the track, or I'll see some more ore over there. There's plenty of copper around the area, that's for sure. I might as well go and get that. I'm sure it's going to come in handy for something. Oh, looks like something, possibly something else here. Okay, so this first episode is basically just a small introduction to the game. Get a bit of a feel of what's going on, have a bit of a look around, maybe set up a little bit of a small base, and then we can sort of go further from there and enhance the experience a little bit more. If you do enjoy the video, please hit me up with a like, and also subscribe if you want to stay in touch and stay on top of the videos in the future, which is always good. I'll be doing a fair few episodes on this game. It looks like a lot of fun. Like I say, there's plenty to do in the game. There's plenty of crafting options at this stage and plenty of building that we can get into. There's like a lot of new sort of building options. So no, we'll have a bit of a look around and play around with some textures and see what we can come up with. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll get all this stuff here. This is really good. Okay. Ooh, got dark all of a sudden. So there's a fair bit of copper here. This is great. So we're going to pick up all this. Or we may have to make this into a mine, I think. This looks like it's going to go on forever. So that'll give us a good start anyway. Let's have a look around. We'll just grab these tomatoes over here. There we go. Wonderful. Okay, so we need to pick a spot to build. We can always come back over here and have a look at the copper. We know where that is. There's plenty. There seems to be an abundance of ore. There's some fruit here, so we'll just grab that as well. I believe this is the only source of food at this stage. I could be wrong. I've tried killing animals before, as I've had a bit of a play around in game earlier, and they really don't drop anything at this stage. It's really just, they're just basically there for, I suppose, environmental, I don't know. There's a bit of ambience, I suppose, to create the effect a little bit. Let's have a look what we've got here. Another ponds. There's plenty of ponds and stuff around the place. That's really cool. What about if we went over this way a little bit more? Like I said earlier, there are some animals in here that will attack you. There's bears and there's tigers and all that sort of thing. And some of the animals that you do attack will attack you back as well. So things like goats and things, they'll have a go. And I think deer do as well. I had a bit of running with some deer. So, but things like cows and pigs, they'll just run off and you just have to chase them down. But like I say, there's little point to it at this stage because you don't get any benefit from them. So this just seems to be going on and on and on. So I don't want to go too far from the mountains because I think that's going to be where obviously our rich source of resources is going to be. So we'll head back over here, we'll find a bit of land, we'll put down our shelter. I think over here, this looks like a good spot where that goat is over here. There seems to be plenty of food around here too, which is an advantage. And there was our mine. So, right here, looks like the go. So just to place things, we'll chuck that into our action bar, we'll chuck that into our action bar. So, number 4. Okay, looks like a good spot. So we just hold down the right mouse button and that will place the item that you want. Perfect. So there we go, we've got to place the snooze if we wish. And then we'll set up our crafting. So let's have a look. We'll stick him over there out of the way. And there we go. Whoops. So we need to walk right up next to it. Press the F key. And there we go. So we've got a lot more options. Now we've got all these torches that we can make. We've got tools. All this sort of thing. Utilities. We've got a clock, compass. Weapons. We've got all this miscellaneous stuff. Grills, trash can, blueprints, all that sort of thing. Crafting stations. Now this is where we can enhance the experience even more. So we can actually make a block bench. Now if we make a block bench, this will allow us to make the blocks that we need to build our building, our base. And there are literally, there's I don't know, there's a lot. There's a lot of different textures you can choose from. So we'll have a bit of a look at that at some stage. Again with the saw bench for crafting furniture and all that sort of thing. The anvil for making your metal objects, so your axe heads and your weapons and all that sort of thing is done through there. Smelting furnace, that's what we need to make we'll put our ore in there and that will make us into ingots. That'll turn things into ingots for us so that we can then move it on to the anvil and make things out of those. There's a loom here to making cloth and all that sort of stuff, so you can make some fiber, get some fibrous materials and make that. And of course the workbench tier 2, so for more advanced sort of things. And with all these options here, you can change the textures as well, which is very handy. So you can create a bit of a theme in your workshop if you wanted to, apart from smelting furnace rather. Okay, so you can make ladders as well, and you can make some signs at this stage. So that's it, but like I say, once you open up those extra crafting stations, you get a lot more options. So I'd say the next one we want to have a look at, we'll have a look at the block bench. So we'll go and have a quick, we'll go and get some wood. We'll get some lumber, we'll have a quick look at the block bench, and you'll see just how many different types of textures there are available for building, which is really great. Well, what's going on here? I had a bit of a glitch there, that the little branch had fallen over. I'm not sure if this guy is actually on the ground or what the go is. Okay, that's strange. That's very strange. Okay, so we'll just pick that up. Okay, we'll go get another tree. Beautiful. Gotta love the falling down animation. That's very cool. That is very cool. Okay, so we have hopefully enough lumber, so we'll just quickly turn that into lumber. There we go. Now have we got enough? We've only got 24, so I think we need 38, so we'll just get a few more tree cutting down and we'll be right to go. Hopefully we'll make this block bench up real fast. Okay. Okay, so we have 40 lumber, so we'll go back to our crafting again, and now we can make the crafting. We can't, no, sorry about that. We need to go to our crafting bench, that's correct. So you need to actually be standing next to the crafting bench to actually make anything. So we need 48, so we need just a little bit more wood. I thought it was actually 38, but we'll go to 48, that's cool. So we'll just get one more tree, that shouldn't take too long. So we'll take down another tree. Yeah, like I said, to get the extra crafting options, you need to basically be standing next to the utility that you need to use, and that'll open up the extra stuff. Otherwise, you just have the standard stuff that you start off with. There we go. Right, so that should be plenty. So we'll just go back over to the crafting bench here. Right. We'll make some more lumber. Oh, there's a goat just walking through our area there. What am I doing here? Let's go to resources. Right, we need to craft this stuff. So there we go. So now we've got 52. We should have plenty to make our next one. Well, got to go right up to it again. So we'll look at it. There we go. So block bench. Let's craft this one. So I'm not sort of worrying too much about textures and stuff at this stage. This is just purely just have a look at see what we can do with it. Where are we? It's a bit dark, but we'll put it there. Okay. Done. There we go. So here we go. So here are all the different, as you can see, look at all the different textures we've got here. Plus there's more textures involved as well. So you're not limited for choice. There's plenty to do. You got metal, you got all the concretes, tiles, you put some basket tiles down, mosaics, all that sort of stuff. Ornamental tiles, if you want to go for something a little bit more fancy. Stone bricks. So there's just so much you can choose from. Plus, I believe you can actually change the size as well, or the shape. So there's a lot to play around with. So as I said earlier, you're not limited, so you're not sort of starved for choice. There's plenty to choose from in building a base and so forth. So there you go. That's a quick rundown of the game. That's the opening stages, I think, just to get set up. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, please hit me up with a like. I will make another episode and we'll get onto some more advanced crafting and all that sort of thing, and we'll start some base building and all that sort of stuff. And look at that, isn't that beautiful? Starry night. So we're right next to the mountain, which is handy, so we'll make a mine and we'll put some torches and all that sort of stuff down there as well, which will be great. If you did like the episode, please hit me with a like, and if you'd like to subscribe, then you can stay in touch with all my future releases, and yeah, that'd be great. So thank you very much for all your support, and I'll see you in the future. Thanks again. Hooroo. He's trying to make a run for it. It's not going to happen. And we can just keep plowing through them. And he's down. That's what it's all about. Can I jump over there? I can jump over there. Oh, that makes it easy. Just happen to have some medules and... oh, it's a female. Very cool. Okay, we'll put some of those bad boys on there. I'll put some of those bad boys on there. And we'll put some of those bad boys on there. And there we go.